Indonesia has actually been receiving for the drafts earlier on. So we're going to see all that unravel right now, ladies and gentlemen, as we get into the drafting phase for game number 1. Indonesia first pick, Saudi Arabia with the second. The bands are already pulling through. We see a Fanny, a Matilda, a Chip from Indonesia. From Saudi Arabia of the Suyo, Zushin, as well as the Yeev and a first pick Alpha.
Yeah, I like this Alpha. Again, this is what we were talking about with when it comes to Team Indonesia. It's that bring out that aggressive playstyle that invaded the jungle and controlled the rotations of Malaysia in that game number 2. They did that by first picking the Alpha, and now whenever you pair with this Alpha, you'll be able to do that. That's one of the strengths of Alpha. He's a high invade hero. Now for Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, they go ahead and pick up the Phobius to temper what we can do in the EXP lane. And then now they also pick up the Cho, taking it away from the hands of Keyboy, and that gives the condition that we asked for from Saudi Arabia, which is make sure you get something that can get information in the when it comes to the rotations of the mid trio of Indonesia. At the same time, you take away the Cho Alpha, and again, that's what caused that game 2 stomp against Team Malaysia, wherein they just kept invading the jungle.
The metagame just keeps evolving. Team Indonesia picking the 1-1 in the face of the Phobius. CW doesn't care. Team Indonesia doesn't care. Like, they know that in gold lane, CW versus Sano, Calvin's gonna try to outplay. Calvin's gonna try to walk out of the laning phase with his head up high, and Sano having been visited by the rest of Team Indonesia like twice or thrice in the first 5 minutes. One more pick in the first phase. I don't know if this is a time for Tarzan to pick, because I see Coach Adi, I see Team Indonesia, they might actually start attacking the jungle. They might try to bear down on the fact that Tarzan isn't, there you go, I was gonna say, Tarzan isn't comfortable with the assassin jungler, so there it is, telegraphed. He picks up the Exporg. One of the few remaining fighter jungles, because you see the Suyu banned out, they pick up the Alpha. What else would you have gone to, a Martis?
Yeah, it's too difficult, it's too risky, and even if you wanted to go for something like the Bane, I think we talked about it as well backstage, that the Bane requires a little more help, preferably from something like the Matilda, but it was banned out. So coming into the second phase now, Saudi Arabia, what do you think they're going to take away?
Need to take away a roamer that's gonna invade or help apply the pressure dished out by the Alpha. I mean, if you just want to be safe, they might just straight up ban Keyboy heroes like the Tigreal.
And then the Khalid.
And then the Khalid in the roam that Keyboy has brought out as well. The thing is, the first 2 picks of Indonesia already shows early to mid-game aggression. First 3 picks of Saudi Arabia shows, funnily enough for me, a little bit more passiveness. The Phobius is going to be could be aggressive. The Cho will be aggressive and mobile and be very proactive. But the export we saw in the hands of Saudi Arabia did struggle also. So that's where the more passive nature of their lineup, I feel like, is coming from. The jungle pick alone.
2 out of the 3 in the first phase are more sandbags. 2 out of 3 are more ways to open up for the true cores of Team Saudi Arabia. And I think that's what Coach Lyric here has set up. We're going to pick first for Tarzan, Troll, and Sanji, so that Sano and Coffin have a better go. And luckily enough, that's what's left open. And Indonesia is attacking Sano. Would not be surprised if this is one more gold laner ban for Team Indonesia.
I think that makes sense, right? The Irritel does come down, like you mentioned. Also, the fact that the Irritel can still be a good lane against the 1-1, right? So they want to make sure that CW gets the space that he needs. I think amongst all the players from Indonesia so far, CW has been a huge standout, and they want to protect that, and they want to work with it. So the Irritel ban comes through. We have the Hilda takeaway, which in my personal opinion is quite interesting. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that Indonesia could potentially have picked up a Hilda into the export?
Yeah.
Yes, but where are we going?
No, go ahead.
No, Indonesia was going to pick the Hilda or the Khalid. It's one or the other. But since XP and Rome are missing, they would have rather taken out the more painful one for the Phobius.
Yeah, for sure. And again, you already expect what Indonesia want to do with their lineup, and that Hilda would round things out very well. Now with the Moskov, they get a little bit more map presence, which is good. You're up against a low E, they needed that. And here it is, the Uranus brought out yet again. We did tease it, and there is a Khalid that you mentioned, Leo, that would round up the Indonesia draft really well, and the draft for Indonesia is just looking very good right now, that they don't have the right damage profile to deal with the Uranus. This mid laner, if they want to go for mid to late game, just go ahead and pick up the Sicilian, but that's already showing to Indonesia that, yeah, we're going to be turtling out and playing it a little bit later for past 10 minutes. But I feel like right now, there's not a lot of mid laners you can pick that can match what Indonesia can do into the early to mid. I think they have to accept that they're going to go for a little bit more late game.
What do you think, Leo?
I'm thinking about that Uranus-Phoveus matchup. Is Uranus the all-around catch for every single strong XP laner in the current metagame? What if there's a Khalid? Would you steal Uranus?
Yeah, right now it looks like you can just pretty much heal through it, and they go for the Valentina.
Which is happening right now, actually, so I thought we had some time. Here we go. Let's jump into it. The Land of Dawn at best of 3, third place decider between Indonesia and Saudi Arabia. Mirko, how are we feeling about the drafts here? We heard the panel, how they feel about it. How do you feel about it?
I like it. I like the drafts coming in from Indonesia. I feel like it matches what they've been able to do a lot. Like, a lot of the successes we've seen from Indonesia has been through getting the control, getting the pressure down early on. With the Lo Yi plus the Khalid, I think they'll have a lot more tools to do that. Especially with the Khalid, you can already see the pressure given towards coming in the mid lane, together with Sans. Troll will dish out a bit more damage onto Keyboy, but it's all about the mid lane trade. Sans will be zoning Cuffin away from these minions.
I feel like Troll got a preview of what Keyboy did yesterday with this same hero, right, the Khalid Roam, how much pressure he was able to go ahead and put on Sakai's in that game 2, if I remember right, when he was playing the Nolan. So Troll's job here is, contain Keyboy from doing what he wants to do and slow things down, because Tarzan so far on this jungle Exborg is having a pretty safe time, right?
Yeah.
And so that's always something that you have to watch out for, because Keyboy, he doesn't have to go back to base, man. Like, he can just go ahead, heal back up, and just be a nuisance to Tarzan and try to keep him from getting to that point where he has that, level 4 available.
Yeah, Cuffin really struggling in the mid lane here up against this Lo Yi, constantly getting the yin-yang reactions. Sans very, very good on the Lo Yi. You can see that Troll always has to just get some space here for Cuffin to even get some farm. He canceled the recall earlier. Cuffin forced back again. This time they were already able to shove the wave though, so he should be able to recall this time around. No more threat of a cancel for that recall.
Okay, so while we wait for this first objective to pop up here, first turtle of the game, we're going to have to go ahead and see how they execute this fight, because again, the level 4s that are going to be available for the first objective take are always crucial. Keyboy doesn't have the Raging Sandstorm, neither does Troll have that Way the Dragon. So right now, Turtle started up, and it looks like this just might go in the hands of Indonesia.
Yeah, no Faraga armor. Tarzan will have to concede this turtle. Troll, they walk up, get Jikundo. Albert should be able to take this. No retribution committed even. Luke pops into Consecration, still has the Purify, and Albert will utilize this retribution that he didn't use on the turtle. Wait, what happened? Bottom lane.
Whoa.
Solo kill. Sano getting the kill diversion into the back. Tarzan gonna be locked down as well. Troll, good way to drag it over to Keyboy. The Spirit of Alpha cancels it out. Raging Sandstorm steal from Cuffin.
Wow, what a setup from both teams so far. I'm not sure if Luke's going to be able to do anything more from this. Again, it's just the Uranus. So he kind of delays this a little bit further from getting that orange buff, but Tarzan will make his way, and Luke should just get on out of there. But yeah, a fight happening between both teams, keeping it relatively even, but a couple more kills here in the hands of Saudi Arabia. They'll play around this, and we're talking about scaling, right? Scaling what they can do. How can they get into the game where they have the best mid-game transition that they need? Now, if you're looking at Saudi Arabia's lineup and how they do that, aside from the fact that Troll is this pick-off guy for them, they have other tools that they can use. Part of this, too, is just having Sanji later on in the Phoveus. Oh, is he going to go for the kick?
Luke still has Purify. Opts to Purify. The way to Dragon locks Keyboy down, though, straight into the fire of the last Insanity. Saudi Arabia leading 4-1 in kills.
That's what I was saying, man. You have the... Well, I was going to say the Hitman, but this is Troll using the Hitman hero that we used to see so often. But the Cho himself is that guy to go ahead and get a pick off early on, especially when you don't necessarily have those defensive items yet to withstand, a lot of that pressure. And if Troll does that every single time, whether he uses a flicker or not, that's where it kind of keeps Keyboy in check. Because again, Keyboy's job is just to be that aggressor, just to be that nuisance. And now Cuffin, he's holding on to the Raging Sandstorm himself. And this can actually be quite a deadly combo if you think about it, right? Raging Sandstorm with the last Insanity from Tarzan. And that's why fighting around these choke points in the jungle is pretty difficult. Whoa.
Again, good way to drag it, but it's onto Luke. Sans getting in a reaction. Albert, Spear of Alpha forward, unable to find anyone. Tarzan is poking Indonesia down. Turtle number 2 spotting the game. Tarzan, again, Faraga armor bursted down by the Lo Yi of Sans.
Diversion.
It's a diversion. Where is it gonna go? Up top into the orange buff. Tarzan, unable to walk in his own jungle. 3-man ambush as Albert gets the turtle for free.
That's a whole lot here, Mirko, early on, just with a diversion, enough to go and get the timing off of the orange buff again. Tarzan, what? Oh,
2v1!
2v1, he's still going.
Albert gets the kill back. At least it's a trade, but what's going on? CW solo kill early in a 2v1, falling as well. Troll looking for the way of the dragon. Will not be able to get it. Uncharacteristic stuff, man.
So the Moscow versus that Wanwan, that matchup right there, Sano versus CW. I'm surprised, you know, he did have to burn the flicker, but he's got that lead now against CW. I'm wondering what the difference is in terms of the gold for the gold laners right now, because it's going to make it a little bit difficult now for CW to obviously be in that lane. The turrets are still up, though, so he might have to rely on some of the support coming through from the rest of the Indonesian team, and it looks like they might just do that because they've got to stop Sano from getting that power spike he's looking for on this Moskov. You can see what's happening here, too. Troll waiting patiently for this. He's going to go ahead and back off from it, but looks like pressure on this tier 1 is the plan for Indonesia right now when they want to open up the map for themselves.
Oh, wow, wait. All right, CW looking for the turret in the bottom lane. Minion wave will be able to crash down on a diversion. Over to the bush. Troll is right there, but it is a choke. Good shut pool way to open up that part of the map.
Okay, mid lane, again, they're just trying to hold it down, keeping things together. Troll still looking, again, he doesn't have the flicker just yet, maybe a couple seconds away before he has it. And that's what we're seeing here. Again, when they wait for that next turtle up, Indonesia has not been contested properly against with Saudi Arabia trying to contest that, but they're looking for more kills and trying to work around it. They're finally getting, you know, some space to work around with, but they're down, what, 3,000 gold at this point. Indonesia going in, Troll?
Way to dragon.
Not the kick he was looking for.
Definitely not. Troll not going to be chased down. Crossbow tank was ready, but he kills him before getting all the weakness points. CW punishing that mistake.
Yeah, I think that's really the point here. You know, it's always this way with the Cho pick. Like, you are going to extend Luke, though. Look how much he's tanking here. Diversion.
Diversion, no, the consecration. Luke is able to survive. Now, last insanity committed down as well. Luke will fall. But Tarzan caught in Spear of Alpha. Albert going in. Raging Sandstorm with the flicker back, but he will not be able to find anyone. The Raging Sandstorm steals Sanji, flickering away. Albert caught in the midst of it all. Terrified down. Troll with a knockup and the way the dragon into Sano's spear. And again, now it's Troll who gets caught by the yin-yang reaction. Two more for the crossbow attack. He gets it, translating it over to Sano, who's going to be gunned down from the skies, but will be able to flicker out the safety. Now Sanji, Infernal Pursuit.
So he's still going. See, oh, Sanji's in trouble. He goes in, but he's not going to be able to pick up the kill with the Spear of Destruction. As Sano goes in, cleans up the kill, and gets some payback as they fight back into the jungle. What a team fight.
A long team fight. 3 members make it 4 with Albert, who died so early in the skirmish. Luke, it was essentially a wipeout. Luke died there too. 5 members of Indonesia falling. And again, overextending, but Sano, he's really been the main man here, getting a 2v1 victory, a 1v1 victory, and turning the tides of the fight with that brilliant SOD.
I'm so surprised that we have such extended team fights too, and the fact that, you know, Indonesia doesn't have any revitalizes. They're just able to go ahead and tank up some bodies, you know, because of Luke. He's there. A whole lot was used on both sides of that team fight though too, and you're starting to see Sands, like he has shown before on the Salui, is starting to get to that threat level as he picks up the glowing wand too. His damage is quite scary if you're Saudi Arabian, you're approaching that. Earlier on, we did see Cuffin go ahead and copy that Raging Sandstorm, and the timing on that changes as well, right? How they initiate the fights or follow that up. So a lot of the focus has been really on just putting pressure in the jungle against Tarzan, but I would say Saudi Arabia's been doing a good job at responding to that. Diversion's gonna be used again.
Troll, shut. Raging Sandstorm, Spear of Alpha displaced. Oh! Troll gets away because of the Spear of Alpha. He's burning down. Now Cuffin steals away the Spear of Alpha, tries to go on to Luke. He's still able to survive with the consecration, but look at the stacks put on him. Tarzan, last insanity with the Infernal Pursuit. That goes Luke. Now Tarzan caught on the Spear of Alpha again. It seems like we've been having 3-4 Spear of Alphas every fight.
It's either 3 or 4 Spear of Alphas or 2 Raging Sandstorms. A whole lot happening here in Riyadh right now. But what's happening now is the Lord is going to be secured by Indonesia. Not much Troll can do. Again, the jungler is down for Saudi Arabia as that Lord is secured. A diversion again this side of the map. Malefic Gun also just picked up CW. Where are they going to go? Troll is probably going to be the focus here. Again, even Sano's got to be very careful about this because right now they're looking to make a play.
Walks up, getting the in-air reaction. Now Keyboy walks up as well. Sano able to get away, but Albert gets him with a Spear of Alpha. Now let's see, will they be able to capitalize on this? Albert will be covered. No raging Sandstorm from Keyboy, finding the McCuffin response and over with. Now Keyboy healing back up. Tarzan with the last insanity used up already, and now the re-engage from CW as he looks to go for more. Into the back he goes. That's a Purify. Now the crossbow attack not ready just yet. CW failing to get the last weakness point. Keyboy will tank it up, gets executed. CW jumped on. Luke all alone, now able to dash away from the base, but that was messy.
A little bit messy there, but they got the job done. Again, Lord's still making his way top side. They get some bodies. CW was looking for that last one, you know? They go for this defense. Sano will go ahead and...
I think it's safe right now. Yeah, all right, there you go.
All right, we're back into the game. Sano's going to go ahead and clear that up. They might even just hold on to the base turrets, it looks like. So Sans was alive. There's the spear, though.
Way to drag it too, but Sans, good diversion out to safety. He didn't get the purple buff though.
Yeah. Thought he'd be able to get that, but ultimately, like we were just saying, you know, if Saudi Arabia can go ahead and defend, they're in a good position to be able to do it. They do just that. And Lord is dealt with. So, you know, with Indonesia being a little overzealous earlier on, like we talked about, pushing into the base because of how that happened, that Lord ultimately didn't result into much, right? And so it gives them an opportunity for Saudi Arabia to go ahead and turn things around and get in a better position for the next objective take here. I think part of this too is what does Cuffin take? You know, a lot of the times we've been seeing him take that Raging Sandstorm, and that might end up working best for them here. But I think it's just counterplaying of this diversion. Before the Lord even comes up, as I say it, before that Lord even comes up, they're probably going to try to look for some form of an advantage in numbers, right? That's what we've seen so often with Indonesia. For Saudi Arabia, do you think they can actually approach this Lord fight and contest it with what's going on in the game? You know, they're not down that much here, Mirko, but they actually got to defend this tier 2 right now. A ton of the damage here from Indonesia. So looks like we're back into the game, still on defense here. We're still about 30 seconds away from this Lord coming up here, and that's where we have to really see, what does Saudi Arabia plan to do? Do they plan to just give up the next big objective, or do they plan to actually contest it? These buffs are going to get taken away. You're already seeing, like you said, this Luyi is such a crucial pick, especially for a team like Indonesia, because look at the damage right now coming through from Sands, and it looks like Cuffin will take that Raging Sandstorm. So ultimately, you're 5 seconds away. They know that they might want to go ahead and contest this. Albert's picking up a winner crown himself. Sano finally gets a prolific gun.
Yeah.
So we'll see this. Once again, they can play with the fact that they have a Spear of Destruction available.
You know, looking at it again, Naisu, maybe they shouldn't contest, right? We were talking about it being a 2,000 gold lead, which is true, 2 to 3K. But Tarzan is 3 levels down on Albert. That's a massive advantage on Albert when it comes to Retribution. So if they don't have to control the side lane, I don't know, Troll goes in. We're able to find a way to try it out to Sans of all people. Raging Sandstorm from Cuffin as well. CW popping the Wind of Nature. Troll, there was one more weakness point there. The Spear of Alpha will be able to peel for the team. Sanji will be slain 1 for 1.
Sands for Sanji right now. Lord's going to go for the reset. They want more though. Cuffin will flicker out, and Luke might be on the chase here. Keyboy as well. Goes in.
Whoa, good Abyss Walker from Sano, dodging away from the Raging Sandstorm flicker. But it does buy enough space for Indonesia to go for the Lord. It will be for free. Troll and Tarzan unable to walk up just in time. Now CW in the chase will learn from his past mistakes, and he will just take the discipline route. Sans respawning, diversioning into the mid lane.
Yeah, trying to get through there again. This is ultimately what we were looking for, and it looked like, you know, Saudi Arabia alongside Troll was like, yeah, we're going to go for this, try to make something happen. And it looked like it was a really good team fight for them, but a good disengage from Indonesia, and then they re-engaged.
Rose Gold Dog.
Rose Gold Dog gets picked up. CW now a little bit more defensive, and this is where we were talking about. So now you have a Lord enhanced going down the bottom. Saudi Arabia wants to hold on to what they can, but they're surely going to lose this bottom turret as that charge is going to come through, and they'll keep it together the best they can. But looking to open up the base, Indonesia does just that. Keyboy also picking up a Blade of Pepsi's this late in the game. Wants to go in for this execute with a Raging Sandstorm. So Lord finally getting cleared out. 2 base turrets left for Saudi Arabia. What will Indonesia do? How do they approach the fight? Again, waiting for that diversion if they use it or not. It looks like right now they hold on to the 2 base turrets for Saudi Arabia.
Holding on to it really, really well. Again, they have great wave clear with Sano, great wave clear with Tarzan as well. They can just consistently play in their base. Like you said, their safe haven is definitely inside of the base. But Indonesia are going to just brute force it. Immortality Patrol, looking for a possible angle to get Sans again. He has to be very careful. Doesn't have to purify. They're not managing waves where it'll crash together. It is one wave in the mid lane, one wave up top, and clearly when you have an Export and a Moskov, those waves will be cleared up really easily.
Yeah, you clear it out. Oh. Luke taking a couple shots. He's still tanky enough though. Again, he can just kind of do this freely for now, and we might find ourselves in a situation where again it's going to be up to the next Lord unless Saudi Arabia presses the situation. Divine Glaive being picked up. A little more defensive here too for Albert, as he might be looking to jump in. Also, crucial item for Sano now too. This is all what we were talking about. That 15-minute mark, start to pick up these defensive items especially. Even something like the Rose Gold Meteor, and then when they start switching some of the items out, that plays a part in a lot of the timings from both the initiations with these compositions. Sanji also himself picking up a Winter Crown. So now we're looking at multiple Winter Crowns for both sides. Of course, the immortalities too. And even to get through Tarzan, he's catching up, right? You buy him some time, he's almost level 15. So they might have gotten themselves in a position here, Mirko, to be like, you know what, 30 seconds, we're ready to rock and roll for this next Lord. We will be able to contest it. And they might try to do the same thing where they send Troll to go and possibly get a pick off and start a fight, but not just get baited into a, you know, engage, disengage scenario against Indonesia.
Sano's just walking up, dealing a bit of damage onto Luke. He buys the Immortality too, and you can see that regen, full stacks on the Uranus, taking the damage and then healing it up all the way back.
The one thing too, they got to manage that bottom wave, right? That's part of the deal here, but when you got a Moskov, that's not much of a problem. You park him in the lane that's being pushed, he can just show up with that ultimate, that Spirit Destruction. Lord is up now. Indonesia, we expect them to go ahead and take the stage with this one. Albert will go ahead and start it up. Troll give me information, and Tarzan just around the corner has the immortality himself now too. Luke is still top side though, so they might be looking for their own kind of play here. They're gonna clear out mid lane. That's gonna be a reset. Troll.
Back over to Jiku, no finding two right there. Reset, Serpent Cuffin, able to find Sans with the Raider Dragon, but he's able to flicker out to safety. Keyboy taken down, now Sans, in a reaction looking for it. Albert will be able to find the back line, now pops in a minute crown as well. Tarzan, Immortality is still there, gets popped in. Albert still surviving. Faraga armor next, Sans with the Yin reaction. Cuffin is next to the chopping block. Good Terrify out, but the sustain is just too much for Saudi Arabia to deal with. CW's on a triple. He's a maniac in game one.
Maniac in game 1, and that looked like that might be it. It's a wipeout, and Indonesia will make their way to the base to end the game. Game number 1, 17 minutes in. They'll take the first blood of the series, the best of 3, for the battle for thirds here. What a matchup. Took us a little bit longer to get to, but hey, Saudi Arabia tried and fought with all their will, but a decisive team fight at the end. And remember, all those items we were talking about, the Winter Crowns, the Immortalities, the Rose Gold Dog, everything played a part in that last fight. And you really saw where Indonesia, their experience allowed them to